So you're at about 100K a month now, you said. Do you want to tell everyone how old you are?
I'm 19 years old. I've quite literally at this point cracked the algorithm. I've ranked for search terms like Alex Hormozi, Ali Abdal, Iman Ghatzi. I was able to do that for myself to just get customers like on command. The first instance which I'd kind of showed people the results of me ranking was the Alex Hormozi one. With that one, in 1 week I booked 50 sales calls. Within a few months, I was making 50K a month at 18 years old. And this comes down to a lot of different things, such as we're able to scale these channels from 0 to 7 figures, millions of dollars annual recurring revenue in like less than a year.
Okay, so we are here with the young YouTube wizard, Jake Trinder. He's worked with some of the biggest companies in the internet marketing space and done very well for them, got them some killer results and scaled his agency like crazy. So I'm super excited to chat today. Jake's been a long time client. And I guess first off, Jake, do you want to tell everyone how old you are? Because you look kind of young, I'm not going to lie. Young king.
I'm 19 years old, nearly going to turn 20, but I'm 19 years old.
That's kind of crazy because you don't see people not only get the numbers that you've got, but also work with the type of companies that you've worked with and done so well for them at your age. So it's fairly impressive. And if you want to cast your mind back, we started working together, what, like 15K a month or something? I know you're pretty early. And if you want to cast your mind back all the way to the start, what's the journey been like? Because things have happened pretty quick for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy really, like how fast it happened. I think it was about a bit more than a year ago when we were at that stage where I was like 15K a month, 20K a month, if that. And yeah, like the shift happened very quickly. And I think within a few months, I reached 50K a month. I was making 50K a month at 18 years old. So we grew very fast. And there was definitely some significant shifts that were made to make that transformation happen. And it was literally just like that. I remember it happening.
Yeah, so what do you think the biggest thing is? Because I remember at that point, you'd already made people a lot of money. So in my opinion, you're kind of just waiting to blow up. But I guess kind of taking a divergence for a second, when you're looking to make someone money on YouTube, what makes it so like attractive for a certain type of company? Because that's really been the biggest thing for you, in my opinion, is you've just been able to make people money consistently. So what do you kind of look for almost in a company?
The thing is, like, just for context, we've worked in over 30 different niches and industries with all these different companies. We work with software companies like B2C SaaS, B2B SaaS as well, coaches, consultants, online service providers who are B2B. Across the board, they get results. But the key thing is that, one, they have to have like a really validated product that's proven to get results. You know, the social proof that they can leverage because of their results is very good as well. And they just clearly have an edge in their market in terms of the results they're able to get people and the value they're able to create, because then that translates into the value of the content as well, and also how much you can leverage in your ideas, right? Because when you're going over to YouTube, you want to be able to have an edge in your market. So that's number one. But number two, you also need to have a good market. And by good market, I mean, you need to actually be able to attract a sizable number of people. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a bit niche, right? You can be a bit niche down. Ultimately, we want to treat the YouTube channel like a business. And so ideally, we want to get it profitable as soon as possible. And so what I look for when I'm partnering with a company to, you know, run their YouTube channel for them, it's really looking at, okay, like how quickly can we attract our customers so that we can actually acquire them. And I believe every company should do YouTube. It's going to help so much with converting more people through other acquisition channels as well, even if you don't reach many of your actual customers directly through YouTube. But companies where you're kind of location specific, maybe you're a law firm in like a very specific location or a very specific niche like logistics, you should do YouTube, but you shouldn't expect to get results fast from it. Whereas if you've got a software tool that's B2C and it's got a large market, it's very easy to pick up those customers quickly, even with just 1 or 2 videos on a channel with 0 subscribers. So they're the two main things that I look for. And if you've got both of those, if you tick both of those boxes, you can really print on YouTube.
Right, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, that's actually a really comprehensive answer. I kind of felt like I was putting you on the back foot a bit there, but that's pretty easy, I guess. So if you've got those two things, then start posting. I think that was probably the situation with Levy, who was one of your first clients, kind of going back into the sequencing of kind of the journey. So you're at kind of 10, 15K a month. You've already made people a lot of money on YouTube. What do you think was kind of that breakthrough? Like, what do you think the thing was that kind of let you almost like snap up to 50? Because in my opinion, it's probably just having that track record and then being able to get that track record in front of people. Probably the same as what you said, where it's like, if you can get people results and get them like pretty quickly, you can kind of just sell stuff. What do you think it was?
Yeah, so I think there's a few things. The first thing before those things is really that I don't think I would have snapped up without the results that I was able to get. You know, with the 3 things that I'm about to mention, those were super important and I wouldn't have snapped up without those either. But ultimately, if I didn't have the results and the track record and the case study to leverage in content and all of those different things, then I wouldn't have been able to attract those. But the 3 things, one, just the market timing was very good as well. We know how big of an opportunity YouTube is, and we know that every business should be on YouTube, but we know how many businesses aren't on YouTube. And so it was very good timing, right? Because we were able to clearly communicate through content why people should be on YouTube. There was nobody else doing it to the same level and getting the same results, not even close. So that was one of the things. But then the two like actionable things was, one, just making people know who I am. And that was obviously done through traffic. And to get traffic, the way that we did it mainly was through posting content. Primarily it was on Twitter where we initially built the personal brand, leveraging sales assets there as well to get attention and also convert people. I know we had like a big sales letter that we created, and that was super crucial, having that lead magnet that kind of educated people from A to Z, but also handled objections and stuff like that as well. Now we're focusing primarily more on YouTube, and also specifically YouTube SEO as well. As of recently, I've basically figured out how to rank at the top of any YouTube search term. So I was able to do that for myself to just get customers like on command. That's something that's being leveraged, which is extremely powerful because we're targeting the exact people who we want to attract. But content in general on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn as well is something that I really want to tap into. That's what I'm going to focus on next as well. And then the third thing was with that, which was the status. It was like a change in status in the way that I perceived myself and valued myself, because, you know, I was getting the case studies, I was scaling these channels from 0 to making over 7 figures a year and adding millions of dollars in annual recurring revenue, but like I didn't really see myself as somebody who was getting that results. And so I was attracting low quality clients, but also people just didn't see me as that authority that I actually was. And so it was like both of those things through creating the content and creating content that came from like a frame of, if you're going to work with somebody on this, you're stupid if you don't work with me, basically. Like it was really that made that shift. You know, I think we both noticed when I was getting on sales calls as well, there was a big difference there as well. Like people knew if they were going to work with someone, it should be me who they work with for running their YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's sick. There's a lot to unpack there, because the kind of authority stuff is so important, because when you run these kind of like book a call funnels, a lot of times you miss out on like the education, the authority that comes, the storytelling, the objection handling. As you mentioned, even having that stuff kind of defined really does help you on sales calls. But the thing that really stood out the most that you said was the type of results that you can get on YouTube and YouTube SEO. I remember when you did that SEO thing, and I want you to talk about that. Like, what the hell is going on with this SEO thing? Because I know you do it for clients as well, and I know it's like weird. I almost get scared. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah. So, bit of context. Like, I've been basically doing YouTube for over 8 years now, and throughout those 8 years, something that I've been obsessed with and spent way too much time on, to the point where you could consider it crazy and psychotic, is trying to figure out like how to actually crack the algorithm. Like, a lot of people talk about cracking the YouTube algorithm and that they've cracked it, but they haven't. You know, it's just used as like a marketing trick. I've quite literally at this point cracked the algorithm by just spending an immeasurable amount of hours trying to figure out how to rank at the top of YouTube search, and really like testing a lot there and spending way too many resources there. But I've been able to figure that out, and since figuring it out, I've ranked for search terms like Alex Hormozi, Iman Gatsi, SMMA, e-commerce, cold email, search terms in the trader niche. Like, there's loads. I can't really count. E-commerce, email marketing, another one. And a lot of these were experiments just to show people that I could rank at the top of those search terms. And there's a lot of nuance, to the point where you can just rank guaranteed, to the point where I can just rank a video if I want to rank it. But there are like actionable things and a frame of mind and an understanding that allows you to be more likely to rank at the top of YouTube search if you understand what YouTube is looking for to rank a video at the top of YouTube search. But yeah, from that, you know, I've been able to acquire a lot of customers because I've been able to get in front of my ideal customers directly, target search terms that they're searching for, and just get thousands of views per day from them. And they're like, how on earth are you doing that? How are you able to do that? So it works well.
That's kind of me right now. So I guess without giving away too much secret sauce, what are probably 2 or 3 things that you could do to improve your SEO?
It really comes down to understanding how the YouTube algorithm works, and specifically how search works. Ultimately, YouTube's a search engine like any other, and its entire goal is to ultimately deliver the best video specific to what the viewer is searching for, and specific to that viewer as well. So if a specific viewer and a specific user of the platform is searching for a particular how-to solution, YouTube's going to want to deliver the thing that's going to deliver on exactly what that viewer and user wants the most, and in the most efficient way, the most effective way. I kind of coined this term as viewer satisfaction, where it's like, how satisfied is the viewer when they click on that video and when they watch that video, ultimately how satisfied they were with what they wanted. And this comes down to a lot of different things, a lot of different factors, such as as watch time, like to view ratio, subscribe to view ratio, positive comment to view ratio, and just the type of thing that people are commenting on the video and how many comments there are of those things. Surveys, YouTube pushes out surveys being like, how good was this video? How relevant was this video to you? And stuff like that. And so it collects an immeasurable amount of data to understand when people are searching this search term and clicking on this video, how are people responding to it? How satisfied are people with the solution? And does it keep people on the platform as well? Because that's also YouTube's ultimate goal. With that, it's about understanding how can we create the best video for exactly what people want from what they're searching for. Like, what exactly do people want when they are searching this search term? For example, I basically made a video on how to make and upload a YouTube short. Brand new channel, 0 subscribers. This was when I first started the company, and the goal was to help it get my first customer and generate leads for me. What I noticed when doing research before I made the video was that there was a ton of demand for this, hundreds of thousands of searches every single month, but also a ton of supply. People with 100,000 subscribers making videos, they had hundreds of thousands of views, and so I was competing with these. So at a glance, you would look at that and think, okay, well, how are you meant to compete? How are you meant to outrank these people? But what it came down to was I went an extra layer deeper in my research, and I really understood what do people actually want. And what I discovered was that all of the videos were 10 minutes long, ineffective tutorials. People in the comment sections were being like, I just wasted 10 minutes of my life watching this video. I still don't know how to solve the problem. And at that moment it clicked. And that's when I realized what people want is a 2-minute tutorial on how to make and upload a YouTube short, right? They want a quick and easy tutorial. And that's what I made. Simple as that. The video ranked at the top of YouTube search and is still ranking 600 days later. It's got like 400,000 views. It's getting still like 1,000 views every 40 hours. To wrap that up, basically, it's about understanding what exactly people want and just aiming to satisfy the viewer's intent to the highest degree, specifically for the people who are searching the search term, if you are primarily targeting YouTube search in like this hypothetical scenario.
Right. So it's kind of like you really just have to find that underserved market in a way. It's almost like finding product market fit, where like you're really looking for a problem or a demand, and then if you can fulfill that, you got that unicorn video.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be one that's like underserved. It's just there's an inefficiency, basically. There's an inefficiency in the supply, and there's a lot of that, even for the most popular search terms like e-commerce, for example, right? Like that's a competitive search term, but we've got 2 videos at the top of that. So now the other thing as well, like just to mention, metadata does come into this, and what I mean by metadata is like the hard data about the video that YouTube looks at before it's even uploaded. So title, description, file names, a smaller one there, but also the YouTube transcription itself is a very big one because that's what is actually said in the video. And that's more so to determine who do we think this video is intended for and what search terms do we think it's potentially suitable to rank for. So that's kind of its like starting point in understanding what search terms do we start to index this for and just test it out, how people are resonating with it. And obviously you start off right at the bottom, but then you climb your way up. Same with pushing it organically. It like pushes it to the pool of people it thinks it's intended for based on all the previous data on your channel and your audience and who's previously resonated with your videos, and then also who it thinks the video is for. And then it just kind of continues that cycle based on viewer satisfaction and who specifically is resonating with the video.
Right. That's more YouTube source than your favorite guru's 5K course, huh? Well, I mean, I guess at that point, like if you're ranking for any search term, it'd be pretty easy to get clients off that. What sort of results have you got off that SEO ranking? Just like purely out of curiosity.
I think the first instance which I'd kind of showed people the results of me ranking was the Alex Hormozi one, where I ranked at the top of Alex Hormozi above all of his other videos. With that one, in 1 week I booked 50 sales calls. In 1 day I booked about 20. And transparently as well, so I did post this on Twitter and people saw this, so they did see that I ranked. But on sales calls, when people got on the sales calls, I was consistently getting people telling me that, you know, I was searching for Alex Hormozi, and then I saw your video and was like, that just really stood out because it was just your face there when not Alex Hormozi's. I clicked on the video and I was actually thinking of doing YouTube as well, and when I saw your video I just knew I had to get on a call with you. People said the same thing for Iman Gatsi as well, so I knew that people were coming through YouTube mainly and not the actual Twitter post, although it did get good engagement. In terms of the client side, our offers like multi 4-figure retainer, and within a week or 2 after that video was posted, probably signed around 10 clients.
That's not bad. You got to post more YouTube videos, I suppose. It's kind of a good transition. A lot of people follow this channel, I think, for agency hacks and for like agency value and that sort of stuff. So you've gone from 10K a month, snapped up to 50, then you're kind of where you're at now. What do you think has been the main difference between each of those different levels?
The 10 to 50 or 15 to 50 mark, that was just sales and marketing. It was that shift that I described earlier where it was getting people to know who I am and getting people aware of me, them knowing that I'm the best to help them with it, and also having the case studies to back that up. Of course, you've got to focus on actually getting the results first so you can have that level of status and you can strut your stuff. And that was really the main thing between that point. But I know that once we reached that 50 stage, I remember like it was very operationally intense because of what we do. You know, we're running the YouTube channels done for you for these people. And in some cases, like, they don't even record the videos. For example, Instantly.ai, they have creators who actually do those videos. And so it's about managing those creators as well, and even sourcing them in some instances. There's so many different pieces. It's a hard operation to scale, and it makes it a valuable operation, but it is hard to scale. And so when we got to 50, and from 50 to 100, it was keeping that product dialed in at scale and making sure that operations are running super smooth, because we help a lot of companies, right? We're running a lot of channels, we're producing a lot of videos every single month, and there's multiple operations there. So that was definitely the two phases. Now it's like a continuous thing, like scaling beyond that. It's oscillation between both of them.
It's pretty brutal. How many clients do you have now?
Yes, we have between 20 and 30 clients right now.
So you have done a lot across getting lead magnets, getting everything up, getting your outbound up, getting personalized outbound, getting your Twitter, YouTube SEO, all these things. I suppose to this point, we've probably talked about the stuff that's been all gravy. Like, it's all well and good to rank for Hormozi and rank for Iman Ghazi and rank for all these people's names and just sign infinite clients forever. But what do you think the 2 to 3 things that almost like stopped you that you unlocked? What's been the massive unlock that you've learned along the way?
Okay, I'd say 2 things. One, having like a plan and a structure and a schedule, and in general staying organized, because I think it's less so about the micro tactics of, you know, what do you do in sales and marketing, right? That stuff can be learned easily. There's so much education for that. It's about sticking to it and making sure that you're doing it every day, and making sure that you're doing it to a level that gets you to the goal that you want to get to. Because obviously scaling in that time frame from like 0 to 100k a month in like 18 months, you have to like have that plan so that you actually reach that. Schedule and staying organized, especially when running a complex operation as well, not letting things slip through. That's 1. 2, something that I think is like a more of a boring thing, but I think it's like actually the most important, is just building like an insanely high stress tolerance. I think that's actually one of the most important things, because even from the start, when you're at 10k a month, you have problems that make you feel like your hair's falling out. But then in the comparison between the problems at that level to like 100k a month, it's like immeasurable. You just get adjusted to it, and you just become a person who's able to deal with that stress and manage it and think logically and not emotionally, because when you start to think emotionally, shit hits the fan. Those are actually the 2 main things, because the fact is if you have a schedule and you can structure your day for success, and therefore structure your week and month and then year to reach the goals that you want to achieve, and you stick to that, which I think the only way you don't stick to that is if you let your emotions get to you and you just don't stay aligned. If you do both of those things, you're going to hit your goals. And obviously, you do need to know how to do sales and marketing effectively. But all of that stuff can be learned if you can have that work ethic. And it's pretty easy, really, when you actually just do the work.
Yeah, it's pretty easy if you can just post a YouTube video and then get 20 sales calls in a day. It does make it easy when that happens. I say this to people inside 1000X all the time. Like, the greatness is the consistency and the execution. Because most people, I think, at this stage, it's not a new thing to do outbound. It's not a new thing that they need to do content. You can read a Hormozi book and learn how to get clients. It's just a matter of prioritizing and planning and actually executing. So I do agree. So you're at about 100k a month now, you said. 30 clients. What do you think is going to get you to 200k a month?
It's really about leadership. I think that's the main thing. Like, it goes sales and marketing, operations, and then it becomes about leadership, because then your team is literally the most important thing. They are the most valued people. A lot of people's primary value of the company is client and customer satisfaction. I think it should be that, and I think it should also be team culture, and it should be how satisfied are the team and what are the team like, because the team are ultimately the most important part, especially as you scale and you start to remove yourself so you can focus on the high leverage activities that push the business forward more. That's like what we're getting in place now, because the most important thing is making sure that not only are we maintaining the level of product to where we're able to scale these channels from 0 to 7 figures, millions of dollars annual recurring revenue in like less than a year, but actually just break records with that even further. And so it's about improving the product whilst scaling further, which I think is how it should go, especially with an agency. I don't think your service should get worse as you scale. I think it should get better because you have more resources to your disposal. That's the main thing. And also having a plan, have those projections, have those goals, and then work backwards as to like, what do we need to do to achieve it? And then also with the leadership and the team side of things, you want to be tracking KPIs to make sure you're hitting that. And so I think it's more about that. It's more about the high level stuff, but it's actually the hardest stuff to do. That's really it.
Yeah, it's more like becoming a good CEO. I agree. And that's what I can see for you as well. I don't think you've ever really had a problem getting leads, getting sales calls, closing sales calls, getting clients. But yeah, it's probably the time in the video where I ask for a shameless plug. Question for you that, you know, is on everyone's minds. What would you say to someone that's thinking about working with us?
I've been in a lot of programs, and a lot of the reason why some programs are considered bad isn't because they're bad, it's because the accountability or the level of accountability isn't there, or there's some gaps in like, what do I need to do? Paired with the fact that people don't want to ask. So basically people just end up not doing the program and they don't end up getting the full value out of it. Whereas with 1000X, it's like every single step laid out of like what you need to do. The fact of it is like, if you actually do each of the steps, and you just follow it, you are going to succeed. And so it becomes then more about making sure that you do the steps, but literally everything is laid out. Like if you just follow it, you will actually succeed. I think that's like actually the biggest difference. So if you want to actually grow and you're actually thinking about joining a program to grow and get there faster to wherever you want to go, I would suggest.
I appreciate it, bro. That's all I've got for you, but I'm keen to see you scale up. Not an easy task, but you'll take care of it.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good.